So guys, we are on record. Today is Wednesday, June 22nd, and we are in session 14th. And our schedule is a little bit kind of flexible, I would say, because sometimes I'm not sure how much time certain subjects will take. So today I have a plan for one session, but I also understand it might take two. We will talk about what I call here job market navigation. It is not the only conversation we will have about the job market, but we have to start with something. And I have well-developed plan here, see, 13 points. And I also have a slideshow for you right here. There is a file. Same file I will use in my presentation. So I'm not sure if you need it because you will see exactly the same on your screen. So besides the presentation, I will do a couple of demonstrations today. So it is going to be very practical because I understand some of you are already on the market and some of you are coming to the market. So I want to make it as practical as possible. And if some of you are not on the market yet, I want you to consider going to the market because after today's session, you will be well equipped to do so. So let me run the PowerPoint presentation. And so we are in the job search skills presentation. And the first thing you have to realize, and the reason I'm telling you that is, we deal with people who are denying the reality. They are saying, I go to the job market, but I'm not selling anything. You know, I'm just, you know, I have lots of skills. I want people to give me a job, but I'm not in business of sales, which is a very miserable position because you go to the market to sell. And if you come to sell and you're saying, I'm not selling, you know, I'm not selling, you're just miserable salesperson. And the reason for that session today is to admit the reality. And the reality is you are going to be in sales business for a while. And the question is, if you want to be a good salesperson, not a miserable one, so let's discuss how to be a good one. That is what the next slide is about. If you are in business of sales and you come to the marketplace and you want to sell something, which is actually your ability to work, you want to exchange that for money. Now, what is the value? Unless you understand the value, you cannot sell much because people ask you questions and you move from the position of a good salesperson to the position of miserable, you know, salesperson who doesn't know what's for sale. What is the value offered? There are two major components in the value you offer. The small component is, I call it short-term polishing. That is what we learn in a school, in that class, and that is what you can kind of master at home, doing online classes, reading books, kind of, you are polishing something. But what are you polishing? So the long-term foundation, something which takes years upon years upon years to build. You cannot become mature within 3 months. You cannot become smart if you are not smart in 3 months. You cannot become hardworking if you are not hardworking. So there is no class which will teach you that. So the major foundation is already in you. It was in you before you joined that class. When I've got my first job in QA, I didn't know anything about QA. I didn't know about existence of QA. And I've got the job because the long-term foundation was there and they recognize that and they say, okay, he will pick up whatever it takes to be a tester. A third bullet on that page talks about 17 seconds rule, which is a kind of psychological phenomenon, which means it takes that many seconds to make buying decision, to say I like it or I don't like it. You come to the office, you say, hi, how are you doing? Please have a seat. Would you like a drink? 17 seconds and they already like you or they don't like you. They have no idea about your experience. They have no idea about your knowledge of HTML or JavaScript or how you write test cases, but they already like you or they don't like you. Obviously, your knowledge and to be more precise, your level of confidence in your knowledge makes certain impact on you. When they look at you, they might see confident person or someone who lacks confidence. So it sells. So if you feel confident, it kind of translates to the people, so they feel, okay, we've got someone who is good. Why? He's confident. And it happens subconsciously. They do not really analyze it. They just see someone who is confident. Okay, so that is the value. Your value is not just in short-term polishing, because when they ask you, do you know this, do you know that? Guys, it's not about something you can pick up in a week or 2 weeks. It is much more than that. So don't be confused if they ask you, do you know this and you don't know this. It's okay. It's not a big deal. What is your target market? So where do you go? If you have something to sell and you go to the wrong place, you cannot sell anything. Let's say if you sell cars, and let's say you sell expensive cars, and then you go to the cheapest area around, cheapest neighborhood, they do not buy cars, but they might buy bicycles, and vice versa. So you have to understand what's your market niche and who is your competition. The reason I'm saying that is lots of you go to the job market and they are looking for internship positions or entry-level positions or something real miserable. It is not where you belong. You belong to maybe a few levels above that. You compare yourself to with people who might be working for a while in the field, but they didn't have any specialized training. They might not have college degrees. They might be just city college kids recruited to do software testing for a couple of years and so on. And so don't position yourself as an entry-level person. I mean, if you are 28, if you are 32, it's not exactly where you belong. When they say, I want an intern, I have an entry-level position, yes, it doesn't mean you have to know much, but it also doesn't mean you could be 50-year-old or 32-year-old. When they say entry-level, when they say internship, they mean someone out of school and relatively young. That is the overall meaning. They do not tell you you cannot be older than 24, but they mean something like that. It is in their mind. So if you will compete on that market, you will lose to people who are fresh out of college and young. So they will get the job. It's not your job. Then some people underestimate the value of contracts. When you search for open positions, you will see standard formula. It says 3 to 6 months contract. It's not about 3, it's not about 6. Nobody knows exactly how long it might take. It might turn into permanent position in 2 months. It might terminate in 1 month, 3 months. The project is closed or terminated. Nobody knows. It's just kind of the name. Don't think about the meaning. That is how they call it. It's a standard term. What's behind the term? On the software development lifecycle, they come to beta testing, not beta testing, beta stage of software development, where most of the testing is done. And they need extra people. They might have, let's say, a couple of permanent employees, and they now need another 5 consultants who come for 3, whatever, 4, 5, 6 months to test software before it goes to customers. Now, they are very limited in how much time they have to hire. They cannot, be picky and spend 3 months. They might have a week, or they might have 2 weeks, and they have to hire immediately. So that is something which, if you are in the right place at the right time, you get one. It's like buying milk in a store. You go to a grocery store and there is no milk. You are not going to come tomorrow and after tomorrow and after tomorrow. You just go to another grocery store and buy milk. Or if you come to the grocery store and you see 10 packs of milk and they are the same, how much time would it take you to choose 1 out of 10? It takes no time. You just take one and go. That is how they hire you. If you are in that market, I call it commodity market. So there is a specialty market. Let's say specialty market would be certain technology like mobile or maybe some test automation tools, this and that. But so far you are in the commodities market. And in that market niche, you just have to be at the right time, at the right place, and that is how you get a job. And the contracts are much easier to get because they do not have time to be picky. And if you go through a couple of contracts within a year, you build much more proficiency, much more technical expertise compared to working for the same company for a year. and you have no long-term commitment. Let's say they give you $20 and you think, oh God, $20, it's not much. But you know what, you shouldn't stay there for 3 years or 5 years at that level of compensation. Be there for 4 months, start looking for another job, and you get 30 next time. So it does help you to grow. And also, whatever temporary position it could be, let's say 3 months, 5 months, 3 weeks, okay, it has a chance to get converted into permanent position. We've seen that a lot. I'm not sure if you want to go permanent, with 3 months or 6 months of experience behind you. Maybe you just want to wait for a while and become more senior and then get permanent position. But it's your choice. Lots of positions like that, 3 to 6 months contracts, eventually turn into permanent position. And I would say percentage-wise, we are looking at very substantial percentage. It's not 5%, it's not 10%. It could be 25, 30, maybe 50. Okay. Now we are looking at job market being kind of statistical thing. So your success in sales has a statistical equivalent. If you think about selling, whatever people are selling, there are some stages in the sales process, and there are some conversion ratio when you move from stage to stage to stage. So there are some conversion ratios. In the example we have here, we are saying, okay, let's say you have 1,000 exposures to the job market. Exposure could be when you send your resume to a specific position. Exposure could happen if you post your resume on Dice, for example, and someone looks at your resume. So you've got exposed 1,000 times. As a result of that, let's say you are being contacted 400 times, which is very realistic number, by the way. And then they call you, they email you, and they ask questions. And as a result of 400 contacts, your resume goes to 40 managers. Now, we have from stage 1 to stage 2, our conversion ratio is 40%. From stage 2 to stage 3, our conversion ratio is 10%. Then, as a result of 40 managers receiving your resume, you've gotten 10 face-to-face interviews. And eventually, out of 10 interviews, you get 3 job offers, which is very real number. 30% conversion from interviews to job offers is very common number for people who are looking for the first job, maybe second, so at very beginning of their career. So when you become senior level, you might get 8 job offers out of 10 interviews. But that is pretty much realistic here. So what's important to understand that ratios improve over time. You see that in yellow, but it's not yellow, it's gold. So you know that the rule is golden rule. It says ratios improve over time. You send, or let's say you get 1,000 exposures and 400 people call you. As a result of 400 contacts, let's say you are very fresh, you don't know much, what you are doing there, and you just answer their questions in a hectic way, and your conversion is 10%. Only 40 managers will get your resume, but then you become more experienced, and maybe next week, the conversion ratio from contacts to resume sent might go to 50%. And we've seen that a lot. Then when your resume goes to hiring managers and they start calling you, we call it phone screening. It's not really interviewing, it is phone screening. So people call you from companies to decide if they want to invite you for an interview, because lots of garbage, comes to the job market. They cannot waste their time talking to weird people. So they make sure you are okay. They call you, they do the phone screening, which might be 20-30 minutes, and they ask you pretty much same questions which they will ask when you come to the interview. And let's say out of first 10 phone screenings, only 3 will invite you for an interview, and after the next 10 phone screenings, maybe 6 will invite you for an interview, because you become better, you answer questions with more confidence. We will go to the questions, we will go to how to answer the questions. And that model with the conversion ratios and the stages of the process helps us to answer the major complaints which people have when they go to the job market. So the complaint number one is nobody calls me, which means I do not have, as many as I want, contacts, which normally means you do not expose yourself. You do not have 1,000 exposures. You do not send resumes out. You do not post your resumes the right way. We will discuss exactly the details of how to do it right. But let me tell you, that part is going to be fixed in 10 minutes. If you show up and say, listen, I have that problem, we can fix it immediately. And I will tell you all the rules of the game, but my experience says practically nobody does everything correctly from the first attempt. So it is very natural to focus on certain things and forget about other things. Just you have to know that, and you have to control yourself. And if something is not working, you contact me, we'll fix it in a second. I have no interviews as much nicer complaint, because it means people call you. So you have a kind of contacts, and so the first problem is not there, so we move to the next level. And then my question will be, how many times you were told last week by recruiters, I'm sending your resume to such and such company. If it is like 5 times or 6 times, it's not that bad. We have people who have that like happening 5 times a day, 6 times a day, which is much nicer. Complaint number 3 is I have no job offers, which is a dream complaint. It means you have lots of interviews and you are not getting offers, which is also about looking at what you do there and how you do that when they ask you questions, what exactly you are answering. And the best thing you can do is when you talk to people, doesn't matter if it is a face-to-face interview or just recruiting calling you, you write down what they asked and what you said. What they ask, I know already. I don't know how you answer, guys. So if you document what you answer, so then we can fix it. And the better you document, the easier it becomes to fix. So whatever is the reason, we can fix that immediately. Just let me know, and I will ask you a couple of diagnostic questions, and we will eliminate the problem. Then we have resume sending rules. So resumes could be sent and resumes could be posted. So recruiters find you. When we look at the websites which we are going to use, we have 4 websites, which is bullet number 1. Craigslist, Dice, Monster, and Career Builder. And there are certain rules. And I will do the presentation right now. Let me run, okay, let me go to the Dice. This is dice.com. And I also have a couple of things I want you to see how they're going to work. We are saying SQA engineer. That is the search. I go to the job market and I want to find open positions. So let's say we are in Silicon Valley. And I'm saying, okay, I would suggest you always go to advanced job search. Don't start from the very first screen. Go to advanced job search, either Dice or Monster or whatever, so you want more tools. And you are saying, I want SQA engineer. The reason I'm using the SQA engineer is people use it a lot. It's not my creativity. I'm not trying to create something real bad. That is how people do it. And I just checked that box. It says search job title only. Unless I do that, you will get all the crap from all the professions. You don't want that. You just want QA positions. It has to be in the title of the job. Then I want 94040, which is Mountain View. Mountain View is in the middle of Silicon Valley, so when it says 40 miles around that zip code, we are looking at the entire Bay Area, entire Silicon Valley. I'm saying, okay, now show me all the jobs. Okay, find jobs. It says match all words. How many jobs? 31 jobs. And I searched for which period of time actually? Okay, it was all. I don't want all. Let's do 7 days. Okay. Same thing, 7 days. Within 7 days, only 10 positions were published. Only 10 positions. The reason I'm showing you that is people come and say, you know what, I was not able to send 50 resumes a day, which is a requirement. I just sent 5. Why 5? I mean, there are not enough jobs. And I say, show me. And that is what they do. I'm saying, okay, let's remove the word engineer from here and say find jobs. It's not 10 anymore, it is what? Ah, no, still 10. Okay, I'm sorry, it's still 10. What if I remove S and just do QA? It is not 10. Wow, guys. It is not 10, it is 134. Not bad. What if instead of QA, I will use the word test? Let's see. It is 81. Now, guys, here is the expression I want to use for my search. Look at that. It says QA or SQA or test or tester. Tester and test are two different keywords. Or quality, and I do not want manager or lead or senior or SR dot or SR. So I have whatever is not senior and above senior. I'm saying copy, and I type it here, and then what I want to do, you know, guys, I have to go back a little bit. I have to say my search is a Boolean search here. Instead of match all words, I will say Boolean, so logical expression. So here is the expression. And here is the zip code again, 94040. And let's say 1 week. Why 1 week is reasonable? Because DICE automatically updates jobs once a week. So week is pretty much what the job market is about. So find jobs, let's try. So it was 130 was the maximum, yeah? Am I right? With QA. So now we have 190 jobs. Now guys, compare 10 jobs which we found with SQA engineer. So it resulted in 10 jobs. And now we have 190 jobs. So that is what people do, and that is what I would call you know what you are doing. Either you know what you are doing or you don't know what you are doing. That's it. That's simple. Coming back to our presentation. So Craigslist, DICE, Monster, and Career Builder is where you search for open positions, and same place where you post your resume, so recruiters can find you and companies can find you. On the job market, practically all of the job search engines allow you to do both. They allow you to post resume and they allow you to search for open positions. We looked at how to search for open positions, and just want to remind you, so it's about the way I did it was your geographic location, your zip code, and then I normally take 40 miles around. You might do 50 if you wish, but it either makes sense or doesn't make sense. If I do 50 rather than 40, I will not get much. In Silicon Valley, it's already covered. But in your area, it might make sense. So Boolean, yes, and then keywords are important: QA, SQA, test, tester, quality, and certain things you exclude, because unless you exclude, you're going to be filtering out. You're going to be spending time on filtering out stuff you don't need. Guys, you don't have that much time. You want to filter it out automatically. And also what I would suggest, do not use robots which automatically select stuff for you. Don't use them. Most of the job search engines allow you to set up certain filters, and whatever shows up, so they will send you an email. Don't do that. Search manually. Otherwise, you are at risk of missing something. At least at that stage of your career, I wouldn't suggest doing that. Then, guys, we are coming to posting your resume, and I will do another demonstration, and that demonstration will happen with Dice again. Before I post any resume, or actually, okay, I will enter Dice as a recruiter, and we are in agreement, guys, that whatever you're gonna see here is just for your use. You never share it with anybody outside of that class, okay? It is not for anybody. It is, let's call it my intellectual property, okay? And I'm paying money for having access to the resources and for being able to analyze them, and so I want only people in that school to be benefited from that, okay? And let me log in as a recruiter. Did I do that exercise before, guys? Remind me. Yes or no? Anybody remembers me doing that?
No.
No. Okay. That is your first time when you look at the Dice from inside, from recruiter's side. Okay. Find candidates. I will show you a couple of reasons why resumes get higher in search results. So what we want you to achieve, anytime you post your resume, whatever people search for, they will find you at the very top of the list. So it gives you, let's say, instead of 1 call in 2 days, it gives you 10 calls every day. So that is what we want to achieve. Okay, so now I am a recruiter. I am going to the search. And I'm saying, okay, the keyword is going to be, let's say, QA and web. So we are looking for web testers. Then I'm saying, geographically, I'm using same zip code 94040. And instead of 100 miles, I will use same territory, so 40 miles from that zip code. And I'm not asking for anything specific. I'm just saying, give me people who posted their resumes within last week. And I'm not even asking so how much money they want. I just want to look at the most. Why I'm not looking for people who posted their resume 30 days ago? Lots of them already got a job. And even if they didn't get a job yet, so they are close, I don't want to waste my time. So I'm saying, okay, give me just 1 week people who are looking for, who might be matching my request for QA and web. And lots of people, out of 276 people, most of them are not really QA people. They might have some QA and some web keywords in their profile and in their resume. So who is number one out of 276? Yelena. Yelena is our graduate, and she is number one. Then we have Rachna, who is another graduate. She is number two. Number three, Ramia. She is not looking for the first job, I can tell you. I mean, she has some experience already. Svetlana, she is looking for the next job. She is working. Natalia, she is working. She is looking for a better job. Dennis, he is our graduate. Guys, is it surprising? Sergey is our graduate. And Emilia is our graduate, but she doesn't do exactly what we expect her to do. Guys, please. Okay, let me mute you. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so, and then who else? And then, guys, whoever else, I don't care much about these people. They are not our graduates. At the top of the list, whatever, 10, 12 people are our students. How come these people are number one in that list? Because the heaviest contributor to the success is the desired position field. Desired position. It is limited to 31 characters. And you see that in yellow, okay, it found the QA and web both. It found both in desired position. Whoever is not in that, whoever is not at the top does not have both. Look, two times, okay, and that one doesn't have it. Just one time QA and then some web in the skills. So if both keywords are in your desired position, it gives you very substantial boost. Then you might say, wait a second, but we have maybe 7 or 8 resumes with QA and web in their desired position. So how come Yelena is above Rachna? That is easy. The next contributor is skills. You see the skills here. My suggestion is any keyword you have in the desired position should be represented in the skills 3, 4, 5 times. If you are in Silicon Valley, if you are competing with maybe 10, 15 graduates of our school, if you are outside of Silicon Valley, you are the only one. So, but still, Yelena has QA and web more often than Rachna. And one more important thing here is, if you see QA as a single field, it gives you better positioning than QA sharing the position with another keyword. So the value of single field QA is higher than QA web, where QA has just 50% of the field. And that is pretty much how it works. There are lots of details. I don't want you to go into the details, but that is how it works. If I do QA, for example, mobile, guys, I can do it for the entire United States. It doesn't have to be Silicon Valley, and they're going to be at the top. Because most of the people in their desired position, they will say QA engineer or QA tester or something in terms of a title. It has to be in terms of keywords which people are looking. Nobody is looking for the keyword engineer. Everybody is an engineer there. So what's the difference? QA and mobile. Rachna, she used to be number 2 in QA web. Now she's number 1 in QA mobile. Svetlana, who is looking for another job. Yelena, who used to be number 1 in QA web. Now she is number 3 in QA mobile. Why she is number 3? Why she is losing to other girls? I don't know. Well, they're close. So we are not calculating pennies, but Rachna might have the resume itself having many more times QA and mobile. So resume is another contributor. You do not see the complete picture unless you look at the resume as well. But look at Dennis. He has only QA and mobile, and just in desired position. He has nothing in his skills, which is bad. But you know what? He is still 1, 2, 3. He is still number 4 in the entire Bay Area. That is the example of how people screw up doing the job. He used to be in release engineering, so he doesn't feel inside of himself. He doesn't feel like he is a real QA person. He still brings, see the word build here. He brings the old stuff, trying to be in between 2 chairs, which is a big problem. He's trying to be in between or trying to be both, whichever way you call it. We have people here who might have multiple profiles. Let's say you do not have enough room here for all the keywords you want to play. It might be Selenium, test automation tools, might be mobile, web, SQL, few more things. You might have 2 profiles. So you position them better. Now, guys, let me unmute you because I need your help. We need someone with different zip code. So let's say someone in Chicago. Do we have anybody in Chicago, guys? No?
Yeah, we have.
We have. Now, what I want to do with Chicago, I want to have a zip code, which, let's do Chicago zip code. We used to be in 940. Give me Chicago zip code. Come on.
60601.
60601.
60601. Yeah.
This one. Okay. Let's do 40 miles from this code. QA web. 7 days. Okay, let's try. Let's do same thing in Chicago. I just want to show you that nobody is keyword coding their resumes. Look, the first person has nothing to do with QA here. oh, okay, let me go there again. The first person is senior practice, God knows, whoever, whatever. Look at this. You do not see anybody who has QA and web in their title. So if you do that, you are number one. You are the only one. Let's do another. You know what? State. Okay, let's go to state level. We have to state. Okay, let's go back. So we have some people in Los Angeles. Am I right? Guys, give me any Los Angeles code.
90210.
900
900.
36.
Where is that?
It's Miracle Mile.
Is it Los Angeles or
Yeah,
the
it's Los
city?
Angeles.
Okay, let's try. QA web in Los Angeles. Okay. QA analyst, web QA. That's it, guys. Just one person. Look at that. Just one person who by accident does something, like QA engineer, QA analyst, web QA. So, and no single skill. That's it. I mean, in the entire Los Angeles. So that is a very powerful technique which we just learned. And one more thing about skills here. DICE allows you to use 20 skills. 20. So that guy, probably Russian, Alex, so he is using 8. You might have 20. And my suggestion is use 20, because each and every field allows you to put more and more and more keywords. And when you start going to DICE, I am here. I will look at what you are doing, and I will suggest you on how to improve it. But even if you do the desired position thing and do at least some skills, you're gonna be at the top of each and every search in your area where you do not compete with other graduates of that school. Next, what we are looking at is couple of rules. When you fill out, guys, when you fill out forms on DICE, I'm trying not to go there because, I'm trying not to go there because it will take more time. Maybe, yeah, it looks like we are going to use 2 sessions anyway. Maybe next time I will show you how to fill out the profile on DICE. Maybe let's make it your homework. Just go to DICE, create your profile. Do not post any resume. Just create your profile and we will take a look. And let me know you have the profile. I will look at your profile. Now, guys, we keep looking at the resume sending rules. And So there is some philosophy behind filling out applications on filling out profiles on job search engines. When you do that, the reason they want you to fill out the forms is they want to get rid of you if you do not match their needs. You are not paying money to be on DICE. Recruiters are paying money. Why? Because recruiters want to sort out, to filter out people who do not match their profile. You want to get inside of their search results, even if you do not exactly match their profile. Why you want to be there? Because recruiters have multiple positions. Recruiter doesn't come to the marketplace with one position in mind. They have multiple positions. So you want to squeeze into their search results, even though they are not looking exactly for you right now. They are not going to be upset with you, guys. Recruiters are not people who are going to be upset with you. If you think about reputation of, let's say, car salespeople. So car salespeople are the most honest guys you met in your life compared to recruiters. Okay, so you're not going to upset them. And so what you do, for example, the profile, when you fill out that profile, let's say you have 2 years of experience, and it asks you, how many years of experience do you have? You might say 10. You might say 5. It doesn't change anything in your resume. Your resume remains what it is. But when they search, if they say, give me people with 5 years and more, you want to squeeze into that. You might limit yourself with 2, guys. There is no, kind of fundamental need to do that. But if you want more exposure, you can do it. Okay? I'm not saying put skills which you don't have because it is not going to work anyway. But in terms of years, it's okay. So the idea, when you fill out the forms, the idea is not to provide them exactly the information you have on your resume, but if some flexibility is possible, become more flexible, provide higher values so they do not sort you out. Or let's say the probability of being sorted out is less than that. So that is what you keep in mind when you do that. You want to squeeze into the search results. When we talked about using certain keywords, it is called keyword coding. If you think why you go to Google and search for something and then some website is number 1, another one is number 2, another one is number 3, that is how search engines operate. They have certain criteria or, in how they sort search results. Search engines are pretty much the same. They do not have such sophisticated criteria as maybe Google has, but still it is based on encounters of certain keywords, and they differentiate between certain areas of your profile. So certain areas, when you encounter keywords in those areas, so they have larger kind of, they make larger contribution to the result. Someone is sleeping there, I think. This noise is like someone is sleeping. Okay, Becky, are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Becky?
That's funny.
Becky?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, who is?
No, here.
Okay. Okay,
guess,
guys. So far, any questions? Anything you want me to elaborate? No? Are you okay so far?
Yeah, I'm okay so far.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, if you look at the slide on your screen right now, so bullet number 1 talks about where you look for a job. Bullet number 2 limits your creativity to certain keywords to be focused on. So QA, SQA, test, and quality. So they are must. I would say tester is another one. How you do that? You post your resume on job search engines. I see people sometimes are saying, I'm not posting my resume, I'm kind of exercising some caution, I'm testing the market with my resume, all the crap, okay? If you go to the job market, you post your resume. And you post your resume before you start searching, because if your resume is not posted, people who are looking for you will not find you. I know lots of guys here who just post their resume, they send nothing out, and they have maybe 3 interviews a week just because they post. If you post and you have even 2 interviews a week, and it's enough to be, getting 2 interviews a week, guys, don't even send resumes out. But posting resume is number 1 priority. You do that before you actually, before you start sending resumes out. Number 1. Number 2. Once a day, each and every morning, you go to the, let's say, Dice or Monster or Career Builder, and you update your resume. What does it mean, update? You just choose any field of your choice, type 1 space, and save. It will change the time date stamp on the record. So when they search for 1 day, they search today's resumes, okay, they will find you. If you search for positions every day, and that is what you have to do, you will notice that very substantial percentage of the positions, maybe 50%, are positions you met you've seen them yesterday. They repost their jobs today, because when you search for 1 day jobs, they want to be found. When they search for 1 day resumes, you want to be found. That is why you update your resume. Let's say you post your resume Monday morning, and Monday you get 10 calls, and you do nothing. Tuesday you get 6 calls. Wednesday you get 3 calls. Friday you get nothing, 0. So if you want to get 10 calls a day, you have to update your resume once a day. And it's not like Dice. You go to Monster and Dice and Career Builder and you do that. Craigslist is different. On Craigslist, resumes are listed based on the day posted. and you cannot change anything. You can update, but it will not change the positioning. So what you do instead, you just remove your resume and post it again. And it also depends on your geographic area. If you are in, let's say, San Francisco Bay Area, so you probably have to do it once a day. If you are in Seattle, maybe once a week is enough. So there is no competition, so they're going to see you anyway. So, you have to look at that. You have to go to your Craigslist. You have to search for positions. And you know what I think? Let me do it for you. Because Craigslist is important. But be careful, guys. Craigslist exposes your resume to everybody. There is no limit. Everybody can go to and see your resume. Craigslist.org. So when you first come to Craigslist, you will see list of cities. So in my case, see it says SF Bay, San Francisco Bay Craigslist. Let's use it. Let's be there. You scroll down and you will see resumes here in the right bottom corner. Resumes. You click there, and some people say they don't know how to post resume. Right here, when you go to resumes, in the right top corner of your screen, there is a post link. Before you do that, create an account. You can post without creating an account, but if you do that, you cannot manage your resume, you cannot delete, you cannot do anything. You create an account first, and then post it. Now, let me search. Let's say QA, okay? And I'm saying title only. Unless it is, title only, I get all the crap. Title only. What do I get? Today is June 22nd. How many people posted their resumes today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they have QA. Software QA engineer. Who is that? Okay, she's our old timer. Okay. QA. I know all of them, really. No, I'm not sure about this. Sometimes I'm not good with. No, he is not our guy. Okay. Software quality assurance manager, director, QA, QA test. Look at that person, guys. Look what the person does. No contact information, no name, no phone, no email. So the only reason to contact that person, the only way to contact that person is to push the button. Then I have to go through CAPTCHA, provide some security stuff, and then it will allow me to send them an email. So not good. Look how people do who go through our training. Let's say Anna. She says, here is my name, here is my phone number. Guys, there is no abuse of phone numbers. They might send crap to your email, but there is no abuse of phone numbers. And if you want them, if you do not want anybody to abuse your email, just do it that way. Let's say, do not provide the email the way it is. Let's say Mikhail at Portnov. .com. If you provide your email that way, there are going to be no robot picking it up, no garbage going to your email address. Number one. Number two, create an email address for your job search, guys. And forget about that email address later on. So, flexible, multi-talented. 5 resumes posted today. If you want, how many altogether? 63. Guys, I remember a year ago, it was 150. The job market is hungry for people. We do not have many people looking for a job. So go to your local one. Look how many resumes are there. Look at, let's say if I posted my resume on Craigslist a week ago, let's say if you go to June 15th, so it doesn't take, too much to scroll down. But I remember time when 3 days will put you at the very bottom of that list. So look at specific situation you have in your geographic area when it comes to that. Then, so you post resume, you update your resume every day, and you keyword code when you post. That is what we just discussed. You keyword code the desired position field, and you keyword code the skills. Now, if you go to Monster, on Monster, it is pretty much the same. You don't need specific instructions, if you just apply same rules, you're going to be okay on Monster. But just in case, two fields are extremely important on Monster. The equivalent of what we have in desired position for dice. Those two fields are your current position title and the desired position title. So the job you want and the job you have. You might say software QA engineer, and you're going to lose. If, then you say QA, SQA, test, tester, mobile, Windows, I'm sorry, Windows, mobile, web, SQL, whatever keywords you have in Selenium, and so on. So that is how you get to the top in each and every search. And same with Career Builder. So Craigslist is kind of special, but Monster, Career Builder, and Dice are pretty much the same. I mean, they're still different, a little bit different, but fundamentally they are the same. Up to 50 resumes sent every day. That bullet says, if you do not have enough attention, send up to 50 resumes a day. It just takes time, guys. It is really time consuming, but I just showed you it's not a big deal to find the opportunity to send 50 resumes every day. You get 190 a week on Dice, which is not bad. It's like 40 a day. Even if you send half of them, apply for half of them, it's 20 a day. But Dice is not the only source. We have Monster, we have Career Builder, we have Craigslist. You can easily send 50 resumes away, at least here in Silicon Valley. Outside of Silicon Valley, you don't even have to send 50. You send 10, you get 8 calls next day, because they are much more hungry for people compared to here. 50% match, the very last bullet in the list. It answers the question, which position is good enough to apply. You have to understand the concept of room to grow. Let me write it here. Room to grow. Let's say I'm a manager and I'm getting your resume, and your resume is what you consider to be perfect match. Whatever I'm asking for, you have it. Do you think I'm going to be happy and invite you for an interview? In reality, it is not going to be the case, because as a manager, I'm thinking about what I am able to offer you. So let's say you take the job, what am I able to offer you? And I am able to offer you nothing because you already know everything. So the term room to grow means when you get the job, you still have lots of things to learn, something why you want that company, because nobody wants to come to my company and become less valuable in 1 year or maybe 2 years. If you have certain value today, you want to have more value 1 year from now, more value 2 years from now. If you do exactly what you can do already, you're not going to grow in your value, which means on the market, you're going to be going down anytime it comes to looking for a job next time. So, in reality, 50 to 75% match, guys, 50 to 75% match is considered to be the perfect match. If it is more than 75, I'm reluctant to offer you the job. It might not be enough to keep you. If it is less than 50, you might not be skilled enough to do the job. That is kind of the range where you are going to look for a job. So you start searching for open positions. I did show you how to search. Now you are looking, okay, position, what is the job? What do I have? If you have 50 to 70% of what they want in your resume, it's good enough. You might have pretty much what they ask, but they ask for 5 years experience and you have 2 years of experience. Guys, send it anyway, because unless you send it, you have zero chance to be invited for an interview. If you send it, there is some chance. And they never ever hire anybody who doesn't apply for the position. And when you start, you apply that kind of carpet bombing, resume submission technique. Whatever moves, in our terms, moves means 50-75% match. And I understand there might be some geographic differences. So when you start looking at your local job market in Chicago and Los Angeles, and I'm not sure where else we have people here, different areas of the United States. So, well, let's take a look. I'm more than happy to, to help you in that. That is my job, actually. So guys, that is the set of rules we use when it comes to sending resumes and posting resumes. Let me see what's going to happen next. Okay, my next slide is about when you start sending resumes out, you start posting your resumes on the search engine, and then people call you. And Vladimir, as I understand, is looking for a job in Los Angeles. And I remember a week ago, Vladimir was asking questions, and I was really upset because what he was saying conflicts with his best interests. So a recruiter says, how much do you want? And he doesn't want to provide a straightforward answer, trying to play games. And then the recruiter realizes, so he has to pass on that candidate because the candidate is not knowing what he is doing. So guys, here is the list of questions which recruiters ask you when they call you first time. So what is your rate? You have to be absolutely clear and straightforward when you talk to recruiters. A recruiter doesn't care how much you want. A recruiter wants to know for which position to submit your resume and for which position not to submit your resume. That is the only interest. If you are not given an exact answer, if you think you're going to negotiate or something like that, you are out of picture. You are not looking for a job. You are playing games. You come to the job market. Guys, if you go to any market, some people are buying, hiring, some people are selling, looking for a job, and some people are wandering around. They are not buying anything, they are not selling anything, they just come home and say, you know what, I was on the job market today. Doing what? Wandering around. Now, unless you can specify your rate clearly, you are not looking for a job and nobody wants to deal with you. In your specific situation, I think you are in, let's say, $25-30 per hour range. If they ask you, how much do you want, or what's your rate, you say, whatever you feel more comfortable. Let's say $25-30. Clearly, which is very realistic rate. You shouldn't ask for less. They might ask you, you know what, I have a position which is few blocks from your home and it's 22. You say, it's okay. But you have clear idea. If it comes to permanent position, here in Silicon Valley, permanent positions begin at 60-65. It is very, very rare if it is less than 60-65, which happens sometimes. So you say, well, $25-30, and this something which is an equivalent of that. What I would say an equivalent of $25-30 will be 50K, 50-55K. But again, whatever they have. How soon you can start? No stories, no explanations, no apologies. Okay, you know what? Because of this and that, it's all garbage. How soon can you start? Can you start tomorrow? Can you start Monday next week? Because people who ask you that question, they are not playing games. They need someone today or maybe tomorrow. And that is the hottest job you can get. Now, you might say, well, I can start next Monday. But you are working. I am working, but my manager knows I'm looking for a job, and I am in agreement with my manager that if I have to start immediately, I will finish my work over the weekend. There should be very clear reason why you can immediately start. Because the sooner you can start, the better are your chances to get a job. Lots of jobs are jobs when you have to start, God knows, yesterday. Are you willing to relocate? It depends. If you want to relocate, say, oh yes, absolutely. If you don't want to relocate, you say, but you want to practice in interviewing, you say, you know what, I do not mind to relocate, let's talk. Because if you talk to these people, practice. Guys, you don't want to practice with people who can give you a real job. Practice with people who do not have anything anyway. Practice, but you know what? They might pay for your travel. Let's say you live in Los Angeles and they have something in Chicago and they pay for your, travel and you go there and have an interview. You know what? If they give you a job in Chicago, maybe you will reconsider, Or at least you know you can do it. It gives you more confidence. And then you go to an interview in Los Angeles. You say, guys, I've got a very good offer in Chicago, but I just do not feel comfortable going, in that direction. It makes you more comfortable at home. Can I get your references? Guys, there are lots of crooks on the job market. Normally, we are talking about Indian, Indians, not necessarily Indians, they want to enter the recruiting business. They do not have managers who will hire. So what they do, they call you and they say, we have a job, we have this, we have that, so I need references. I just need managers. I don't want anybody, just managers. And then they call managers and say, you know what, we can offer you good people, blah, blah, blah. Let us send you resumes. So nobody will ask you references. Legitimate recruiter will not ask you for references unless there is a job offer coming. You can say, look, no problem. You give me a job offer, I'll give you references. If they don't buy that, give up on them. I mean, they are not legitimate recruiters. They are playing games. Can I get your social security number? Obviously, you cannot give your social security number to anybody unless you are dealing with a well-known organization. Some organizations will ask you for social security number. It happens, but it has to be very well-known organization. Most commonly, they ask you for last 4 digits of your social security number. They want to make sure you have social security number. Guys, if they ask you for 4 digits, give them 4 digits. You can give them any 4 digits. I mean, really. You can give them real 4 digits. Nobody can identify you by 4 digits. Don't get confused. Just give them and forget about it. Why are you looking for another job? There should be a very legitimate reason. You might say, you know what, the job I'm doing, my position is being outsourced to India, so everybody is looking for another job now. Or it is an end of contract. So we are releasing the software. It was a contract position. I'm just looking for another one. There should be some legitimate reason. You don't have to come with stories like this and that, and nobody wants your stories. They want to make sure there is nothing bad behind your interest in getting another job. So you didn't kill anybody, you are not fired, and it's not like your manager is a jerk and then now you want another job. No, not really. How far would you commute? The danger here is, let's say if your commute is 70 miles a day, one way, and you say it's fine, they might not feel comfortable with 70 miles one way being fine. So you have to come up with some reasonable number. Let's say 20, 30 miles is fine. But you might say, I really want to relocate to that area. For example, you don't really want to go there, but you still want an interview. And let's say you live in Los Angeles and interview is in San Diego, and you say, wait a second, you cannot commute that way, but you say, you know what, I really want to go to move to San Diego, so if I get a job offer, I will move next week. You still want an interview. Guys, if it takes coming from Los Angeles to San Diego for an interview, I would go. You practice, it's very good. Do you know this? Let's say, do you know PHP? Do you know HTML5, do you know Perl, do you know shell scripting? They ask you for some technical skill. It happens a lot, which you do not have at all. Sometimes they come with abbreviation you never heard about. The answer is, you deal with recruiters, guys. The recruiters have no idea, what's happening there. They just want, they need some keywords. And out of the keywords given to them by managers, 90% are irrelevant. It has nothing to do with real demand. So they say, do you know PHP? You say, absolutely. It's not a question. The question is, do I know enough to keep these people happy? So why don't you just send my resume and schedule me an interview and then let's see. I mean, unless we talk, we don't know anyway. What you want these people to do is, you want them to send your resume to the hiring manager. If hiring manager after that calls you and they schedule you an interview, it means just one thing. They don't care about PHP. If they really care about PHP, they look at your resume and they realize you have no idea what it is, they will never call you. You have no risk whatsoever. You just have to understand recruiters have no idea what they're doing. And when people create job description, when I talk about interview, I'm saying interview is a place where two bullshits meet each other. So the job description which is blown out and the resumes which are normally blown out. And what happens, they need you to do certain work and it requires certain skills. And then they say, yeah, but what if that person, we like him so much, and then we keep him as a full-time. Let's say, do we need automation? We don't need it now, but what if we need automation 6 months from now? Yeah, it's important. Which automation? I don't know. Okay, which automation tools do you know? Selenium, Silk, QTP, and it goes to your job description. And do you think that person, if that person stays with us, permanently, it would be nice if the person knows programming languages? Oh, absolutely. Which languages? I don't know. Well, C is nice, C++ is nice, C# is nice, Java is nice. And then it comes to 90% crap job description, because what they need to hire you is 10% of that. And the recruiter has no idea what's important, what's not important. Only hiring manager knows. That is your major focus. When you deal with the recruiter, it's like a child, talking to a child. Make the child to do what you want the child to do. Send your resume to the hiring manager. That is your goal. Do you know this? Absolutely. No doubt. The question is, do I know enough? Another question people ask, on the scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how would you rate your knowledge of whatever, PHP, HTML, JavaScript, whatever you might have in your resume? The question of how would you rate your knowledge is not the question of what you know. Because you cannot really estimate your knowledge. You don't know if you are a guru or you are miserable. What it really shows is your level of confidence in yourself. If you say 10, maybe you are a psycho. Okay? If you say 2, it means you are extremely unconfident in your skills. So I would say 7, 8, maybe 9 is too. I mean, if you have no idea about what you are talking about, 9 might be too much. 7, 8 is good. So you are reasonably confident. Do not try to estimate your knowledge. If you just learned HTML and they ask you how would you rate your knowledge, do not say 2 or 3 or 4. Say 7, 8. Why? That is my level of confidence. It has nothing to do, zero to do with your level of knowledge. It is just about your level of confidence, and everybody wants confident people, but not crazy confident. Reasonably confident. That is why 10 is probably too much. Guys, we have lots of things to talk about yet, and we will continue that conversation tomorrow. So far, any comments, anything you want to share, and before we finish?
Okay, I'm gonna go on to Dice and Monster and start applying.
Who is talking?
For the homework, William.
William, okay, good. I didn't do your resume yet.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, so I'm gonna have, I'm gonna, I guess, just apply, see how the searches go, and then when I get the resume, then I can send them out.
Okay, okay. So you will research the market then. Mm-hmm. But create the profile. Profile doesn't require any resume. You can just create the profile.
Okay.
Okay, guys, and whoever doesn't have resume yet, send me your stuff. I'll do your resume.
Michael, one question. You know the online campus educating?
Yes.
With the tests and certificates that are on there, you think that's good enough to put down?
Well, I mean, it is coming from California licensed school. We are a legitimate school. Mm-hmm. We are just got reapproved yesterday. We've got another reapproval, from the state of California. We are absolutely legitimate. We are in all the catalogs, and I mean, we accept payments from government, and we are a legitimate school.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So.
Good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Michael, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, guys. It was my pleasure to talk to you. Becky, you've got nothing to find another bug. Okay.
No, I actually find many bugs and
okay.
It was cool.
Okay, guys.
Okay,
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you, Michael.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Michael.